Hey everyone, you're listening to Nerd Boys Comic Blog. I'm Marco, and today I'm joined by Damon, and today we'll be discussing Marvel Fresh Start. It's Marvel's 5th relaunch in just as many years, and hopefully this will be the one that really pulls them out of the mud and brings them back to their former glory. Marvel has really been in a bind this year, well the past 2 years. Maybe now with C.B. Cebulski in charge as editor-in-chief, he can really bring back Marvel to their place in the comic book industry, the top dog in the comics industry. Or maybe it'll be more of the same, since this is, after all the same creative teams from before, just on different books. Who knows? Maybe this will be what really pushes Marvel over the top, or it could just be more of the same, and we'll just have to wait until next year for the next relaunch. But without any further ado, let's get into it. I'm going to name a bunch of creative teams, and I want your opinions on them.
Okay.
So, writing for Amazing Spider-Man, we have Nick Spencer.
All right.
With art by Ryan Oatley.
Ryan Oatley is the artist for Invincible. And I love Ryan Oatley. He's cool as fuck. Like, his stuff is just so cool. And I'm excited for that alone. Like, him doing Spider-Man, like, that alone. Because I feel like Ryan Oatley is, like, started off. Like, he got his start working with, what's his name? Walking Dead dude.
Robert Kirkman.
And, like, I don't think he's, like, hasn't done, like, any major, like, superheroes. I feel like he has done that stuff, but, like, not any runs. Like, not any, like, his Oatley's run on, he's, like, done issues and shit here or there. So, like, this is exciting. This is, like, a big kind of, like, moment of, like, him, like, doing that. And I think if you like superhero comics, at some point you, like, want to work on certain books. You want to work with certain people. So I'm curious to see what he does. Nick Spencer is, like, weird for me because I feel like he is a person that people don't like because of the last story he did. But I felt like that in and of itself was actually a good story. Like, the idea of Cap being Hydra the whole time is, like, actually a really interesting idea. Like, it's just, like, it's not... And people are just like, well, he fundamentally changed the character. It's like, yeah, but, like, in the story, he fundamentally changed the character. He didn't make it so that, like, all the stuff you knew about Cap was wrong. The story facilitated that. I think that's the
Facilitated?
Right word. Facilitated.
Okay.
Thank Jesus. I feel like a moron. I am. That's not the point. So... I'm curious what he writes, but before that, the only thing I know that he wrote was Ultimate X-Men.
Yeah, well, I know him from Ant-Man. He was writing Scott Lang, like, shortly before Secret Wars started.
I know what you're talking about. That was, like, the first book they did during the Ant-Man movie, right?
Yeah, that was, like, the kind of like a movie tie-in almost. Yeah. Or at least to put out a book.
The movie release one. The movie, like, the parallel. Let's call it the movie parallel book.
Yeah, and there's some movie parallels coming out for Fresh Start, too.
Yeah. Like, I guess I think that's part of what Captain Marvel's about too. Like, kind of the build up to that. The Infinity book that they're doing right now kind of is in time with the movie, just in that it's the same kind of subject matter and the same characters showing up a little bit,
just to line up a little bit with the movies.
Yeah. So that book I'm curious about. I'm probably gonna pick up the first one of that.
All right. Next we got Avengers, written by Jason Aaron with art by Ed McGuinness.
Okay, I love Ed McGuinness. He's gonna do like one arc and then just go it's gonna be somebody else because that's like every McGuinness book ever. I don't care what anybody says. He'll be like, he leaves, he does like an art, they pay him like, I don't know, I guess they pay him a lot, I don't know, he doesn't need to be there that long apparently. So I'm excited about that just because I love Jason Aaron. I love Ed McGuinness. Everybody always looks like way too muscly and cool, and on like the best way, like they like cartoonishly muscly and like cool. I'm just curious what he's going to see what Jason Aaron does with the Avengers, because I feel like right now Aaron is probably like the biggest writer they have.
Yeah, right after Bendis left, like, your next runner-up is Aaron. And I think he's going to try and, like, tie up a bunch of loose ends from different things like Original Sin, his Doctor Strange run, like different things like that. And Doctor Strange is on the team now.
Yeah.
And he also has Thor back as Thor in his own book and in the Avengers.
Yeah. The only thing I don't like about that is I don't like his gold hammer and arm.
I like both the helmet, hammer, and arm.
I'm not a big fan of gold. It's really my issue right now. It's not like a huge, like, this is bad thing. It's just like, I wouldn't have made that choice.
It's more of a nitpick than anything.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely a nitpick. I really feel like I got to go back and read Jane Foster Thor, like that whole run now, though, because I feel like I missed out on something cool.
Yeah, just like I was interested in the death of Thor and like the whole like issue 700, and it teased so much and like all these things happening so soon, and then like the next Thor story arc is like like continuing the War of the Realms.
Yeah.
Which Aaron has been writing that for like 3 years now. No, like 4 years.
Yeah, but that's a big deal though. Like, the realms were at war. That's a lot of story you could write. That's kind of the problem with like Naruto got into the Great Ninja War. That took a minute, you know.
Yeah, I mean
a little bit too long, Naruto, but that's not the point.
Yeah. On to the next new book. We have Ta-Nehisi Coates writing for Black Panther still, but more importantly, or at least to me, Captain America.
Who's he? Yeah, and Linnell Yu is doing Captain with him, and
Alex Ross is doing all the covers.
And Daniel Acuna is doing, I think it's how you pronounce his name. Daniel Acuna is doing,
Black Panther?
Black Panther. Oh, man. I do have a story about an artist that wasn't nice to me.
Wait, about Daniel or no?
No, not
Okay.
Daniel. I met Daniel, and, like, I had the weirdest... He wasn't mean to me, but what it was like, when he looked at my stuff, he was just like, oh, it's really cool. You already know this thing. And I felt like he was talking to, like, a 16-year-old or something. And I was just like, oh, he thinks I'm a baby. He thinks I'm good for a baby. Like, and I was just like, somehow I'm also proud and crushed at the same time.
It's like a backhanded compliment.
Not on purpose, but yeah. It's a similar feeling. It wasn't like he was trying to be mean to me. I think he just thought I was like way younger.
Yeah, but you do come off like kind of young.
Yeah, no, I wear hoodies too much. According to internet, I should be wearing sweaters like a man.
It's Chicago.
Yeah, I mean it's not that cold.
Yeah.
So I don't care what anybody says. My style is slowly switching around. That's not the point. That's going off. First of all, Neil Francis Yu is doing Captain America with Ta-Nehisi Coates. If you're not curious about that, I don't know. You don't have a curious bone in your body. All right, that sounds awesome and weird and crazy, and I want to know what's going to happen. Like how serious what's his view on Captain America as a character? Like, what does he have to say about it? I feel like I really don't want him to be like Mark Millar's Captain America Cap. Mark Millar's Cap is like fun for like the action movie style that like Mark Millar writes in, but like as a character in and of himself, like he just kind of seems like really annoying. And I'm like scared it might be like that, but at the same time, I know that's not true. I also like the idea that like Ta-Nehisi Coates might make Captain America like not like racist, but like a little bit ignorant about that kind of stuff. Like in the nuances, like kind of like, you know, people say stuff and you just like, oh, they're a good person, but you know that's wrong. And I want Cap to have at least 1 or 2 moments like that where he has to have that, because I know Ta-Nehisi Coates talks about race and like Black Panther. I was talking to my friend who is a lot more political than I am and a lot more focused on, he thinks a lot more about that stuff, and he was talking about how like Ta-Nehisi Coates, like Black Panther is perfect for him because Black Panther is about this like black utopia, you know what I mean? Like, and that's kind of like something that he feels right in. So for him to be writing about Captain America and like America and like what it's like that here, I'm super excited about reading that, especially because I like the Black Panther run a lot.
I haven't read any of that, so I'm kind of just gonna try and get into that with like trades.
Do that. Black Panther run is great. I got exactly what I wanted from it, which was when they announced that they was doing the Black Panther books, especially when they started doing the movies. I was like, when they was working on the movie, I was like, I really want to see them develop Wakanda as a place, and like you get a good sense of like what people are like there and what they and it's exactly what you get. You get this idea of like what it's like to live there and how people interact with something. A lot of the ideas that like they do in the movie come from the comic, from his run of Black Panther. I think just because it's so cohesive and so like
it's a well-established world.
Yeah, he does a really good job like world building and like making all these interesting like back characters. I think the only thing that I don't like about it is sometimes it can feel a little highfalutin and like everyone talks a little bit too regally, which is always kind of like not my thing as a personal style choice. Also, and like Shiri is a lot wiser, which is useful to the story, but not as fun as a fan of her as a character. Like she's like she does cool stuff. Like she does that Itachi thing, which like turns into birds and then reappears someplace else. Like that's cool, but but she's not like. She was a lot like she was in the movie before. Oh, okay. Which is a little bit more like, haha, like I'm your younger sister. I'm really excited. I'm a little rambunctious, and now she's just like, I'm an adult. I have seen death and returned. You know, and you're like, cool. But like She seems that, but other than that, like it's just really fun to read. It's really cool. They added some more depth to Claw's background, which is pretty cool. Giving him a little bit of a Mr. Freeze vibe.
Oh, that's interesting. I never thought like Claw would have a tragic backstory.
Yeah, they gave him like a bit of a tragic backstory. I'm really excited to see about Black Panther because this looks like they finally gonna go into that like legacy, like Black Panther on a different planet thing.
Oh yeah,
like redid that cover from the beginning of it, but the background is like all crazy.
The Galactic Empire of Wakanda.
Yeah.
That's that thing that they teased in like Marvel Legacy a few months back.
Yeah.
And also another new creative team. This time for Iron Man, we have Dan Slott and Valerio Schetti.
That's his name.
Valerio Schetti.
Okay. I love me some Valerio Schetti. He is fucking cool. He does cool, dope awesomeness all the time. And Dan Slott is fun. And I think that I'm really excited to see what happens there. I like that book. I'm probably going to pick up that one just because those two people make me happy.
Yeah. I liked Dan Slott's Spider-Man. Like, it was in and out for like a while for like various reasons. I like missed a few arcs, but then I came back in. And
I always feel like I know what's going on. I do that too, and I always feel like I know what's going on. Like, I always feel like I know. I like start up, I read the like previously on, and then I'm just like, oh, okay, cool. And then I can just read through an arc, you know what I mean? Like, it always feels like very comfortable and safe in that way, in a way that's like not bad. Like, it doesn't, like, it does new stuff and you get to see him do new stuff, but it's like you can come back to it and you don't feel like missing 2 arcs throws you off completely.
Yeah. It's like everything's pretty much status quo, and like a few issues he's rich, or a few issues all the Spider-Men are there. Yeah. And it's like them versus the Inheritors.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like every year there's like a big thing it's building up to, but besides that, like maybe 6 issues, it's plain status quo for the most part.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Dan Slott, I think he said for Iron Man he wants to do kind of like a how badly is this fucking up Tony Stark, like the whole Iron Man thing.
Oh yeah, the like him altering his body and stuff.
Yeah,
I forget. He said something about the style he was going for. I can't remember what it was. The article, the book. God damn it! Why am I always bringing stuff up? I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
I don't know. Well, don't worry. I do it too sometimes. I was kind of thinking like, is he going for Cronenberg a little bit? Like, Is he gonna have like a weird fly Iron Man suit where it's like the metal's protruding?
That'd be so creepy.
Or like he's in a cocoon and he comes out, he's like all iron.
I doubt that. I know he said they was gonna do a bunch of armors.
Yeah,
like
there's like a Legion of Armor again.
Yeah, there's like a Legion of Armor again because Valerio was talking about how excited he was to do designs, and everybody was talking about how he was gonna do armors for every different thing. So I'm excited to see that. It's always fun to see new Iron Man armors.
Yeah, I think it's also kind of going to stray further away from Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man and go for like more like Dan Slott's Iron Man. Like just go into like something else.
Well, I feel like Dan Slott would do fine with that kind of Iron Man. Like I feel like he would write that like Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man pretty well. I'm curious if Riri is going to stay around as a character in the storyline in the same way that like Rhodey or Pepper or whatever, like a strong like supporting character. Because I think they could keep her around, especially the way they set up the last issue I read. She met Arno for the first time.
Oh, okay.
And he was like, we gotta find my brother. Like, so I'm curious if she's gonna be like there. And I feel like they could. That was something I wanted them to do while they was doing the Spider Parker Industries thing with what's the name? I wanted Miles and Peter to have a very like, I was hoping that there would be a point where they like were like, they had their own books, but they were still working out of the same space.
Yeah.
So you got to see them interact a lot more. Because, I don't know, I like them interacting. It's always like, Peter takes on this really cool big brother role thing that he has going on where he's trying his best to figure out how to help this person and give him the right advice. And then Miles is always trying to do his own thing. And they but they also have a lot of respect for each other. It's not like a ton of button heads, but when they do, it feels like this little thing that could just like mess everything up sometimes. It's fun.
Yeah, not really so much like a Bruce Wayne, Dick Grayson, but like a Dick Grayson, Damian Wayne kind of situation.
Sort of like that. I think, like it's very like they work together, but then they also like Miles is still young, and you kind of get a good glimpse of their like weaknesses and stuff, and like Peter's not quite sure how to teach somebody how to do what he does, especially when he knows that some things you have to learn the hard way.
The very hard way. And I think for the whole Riri thing, since she is like a Bendis creation, I think Marvel's gonna like steer away from that, because like Jessica Jones is getting her book canceled. Miles is like potentially losing his book and becoming a side character. And Riri's no longer going to be like the main title character or the main character of Invincible Iron Man. I think she's either going to be ignored completely or like thrown onto the Champions.
Yeah, I know that she's going to be on Champions, which, yeah, I mean, I should probably read Champions.
Yeah, I dropped out of Champions at issue like 13, and then Andrea looked at like a few covers and she's like, why don't you read this anymore? I was like, because nothing's happening. Like, literally, Mark Waid feels like he's just, like, printing out books without a story. Or the first 2 issues are good, and then issue 3 is kind of like, and then it just stays at that level.
But I got
issue
that
3.
sense, too, that, like, and we talked about this before, I feel like a book has to hit the ground running. And if it doesn't, then it can feel very stale really fast. And that was my issue with the all-new Ultimates that they did.
Yeah, it was kind of just like...
Yeah, it was kind of like, oh, they kind of fighting some bad guys, but you like didn't feel like it was a real threat because everybody just fought Galactus and won, and it was just like,
where do we go from here?
Now they fighting dudes on the street. Like, what?
That's what Champions is doing. It's like going out to Twitter and fighting up bad guys who do bad things on Twitter. That's like 3/4 of Champions. It's really... That's not bad. I would say it's just really boring.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we have a new Hulk book, too. We have The Immortal Hulk, written by Al Ewing, and art by Joe Bennett, with a cover by Alex Ross.
I wish I cared more about the Hulk. Al Ewing is fun, though.
Yeah. I mean, he's been dead for, 2 years now?
It's been 2 years. It hasn't been that long.
Civil War II came out in 2016. Damon's having this moment where he's like, he feels old, but he also is confused about what year it is.
Yeah, super confused about what year it is.
Yeah, but the Hulk's been dead for almost 2 years now, and Bruce Banner's finally coming... Well, he was back for, Secret Empire, and they never explained that fully. And now I guess he's coming back for reals, and he's also immortal, so... I hope that has nothing to do with the Immortal Iron Fist. I hope he's not the new Iron Fist.
I feel like that would be too much for the Hulk. He's, also magic now.
I have gamma radiation and the fist. I punched the heart of a dragon, now I'm immortal.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
That's too much. That's crazy, though. What? I don't know. I'm not a huge Hulk person. I can't even pronounce it right. I always say Hawk.
Hawk and Dove.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I should be saying Hulk, but I always say Hawk. I don't know.
Fun fact, I was originally going to be named Hulk Thor Tanoko, so...
Really?
Yeah.
Whose idea was that?
That was my dad's idea.
It's amazing.
Yeah. I should like Hulk way more, but I like Thor a lot.
I'm surprised he didn't go for being Thor Tanoko. I feel like that would have slipped past your mom.
Yeah. but straight up Hulk, it's like, nah, it's a no-go. Okay, and we have 2 Mark Waid books. We got Doctor Strange.
Okay.
With art by Jesus Ziaz. I'm really bad with names. And then we have Ant-Man and the Wasp, a movie tie-in kind of, or a
movie parallel, yeah.
Movie parallel. With art by Javier Guerin. Guerin?
Yeah. I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm curious about Ant-Man and the Wasp, but I know I probably won't pick it up. I'm not trying to be a dick or anything because I don't have any real reason. I just feel like I'm not gonna pick it up.
It's like Gambit and Rogue. I'm not really gonna pick it up, but I'll pick up issue 1 just to have it.
Yeah. I kind of want to pick it up just because I like Kelly Thompson a lot. I've been back and forth about picking that book up. It's one of those things sometimes I feel like Marvel miniseries needs to be fast tracked to
graphic
trade.
Novel.
Yeah.
Like Rage of Ultron's perfect. This is a trade paperback or hardcover.
Yeah, no, it's so fun and it's really cool.
Yeah.
I like those. And I do like I don't know if you ever read the Gambit, not Gambit, I mean Wolverine Jubilee story.
I did not.
It's Phil Noto and I can't remember who wrote it. I feel like Phil Noto wrote it and drew it, but I keep thinking of somebody else too. That's fun. It's a cool story. It's about, Jubilee just turned to a vampire, Wolverine's helping out, and they deal with some other vampire mutant related stuff, and there's a fun time between the both of them. And you're like, this is cool. And I got the whole trade. And it's it's just one adventure that they went on.
Which is always fun.
Especially with those books, too, that's something I always felt they should push a little bit more when it comes to, outside of the sphere of, normal comic book fans. It's those, this is 6 issues, this is 7 issues, this is not that long.
Yeah.
here's a trade, like...
Put that in, like, Barnes & Noble, people are going to buy it.
Yeah.
But have, like, a 6-issue miniseries that maybe not so many fans or readers are going to want.
Yeah.
Just fast track it to be, like, a trade paperback.
Like, something they know they can do, like, 20,000 copies a week on without having to worry about it. And then when it gets to trade, like, selling those trades to people who, like the idea of comics but don't read comics a lot, and you know, be like, hey, remember, you can buy these online, you know what I'm saying? Like
Amazon.
Yeah, Amazon the shit out of this motherfucker. Like,
yeah, how do you think about this whole Doctor Strange in space looking design?
Curious about this.
Yeah,
I'm not a huge Doctor Strange fan though. It's kind of my thing too. It's just like, even a movie, like, it's funny because one of the things I noticed about Marvel movies recently, like watching a lot of stuff, is that like everybody's kind of got their favorites. Like, I remember watching somebody talking about Doctor Strange, like, oh, I know how much everybody loved Doctor Strange because I loved it. And he was just like, huh? Like, it was cool, but loved? I don't know. And then, like, he was talking about one of my favorite Marvel movies, like, yeah, it wasn't that great. And I was just like, no, I'm pretty sure it was the best. And I really just said it to, like, be like, oh, yeah, like, everybody's really got their favorite. Like, they really got, like, they favorite characters that they like, this is exactly what I wanted. Versus like, and it's not even like, is this good or bad? It's like, what's my favorite? You know, like, what do I like the most? What's my taste? And so like Doctor Strange for me is kind of like, yeah. Even though I did read some of Jason Aaron's Doctor Strange, and it's pretty fun. Yeah. He's got like shit coming out of his fridge and stuff. It's crazy.
I was reading some of that and I was like, I really like the approach. Also, I think Avengers 1 million BC might be tied into Aaron's Avengers run, which I'm excited about, but I'm also like, oh, what's really going on with this Dark Celestial?
Really? Oh yeah, we didn't talk about new Deadpool.
Oh yeah, Scott Young doing Deadpool with art by
Nick Clean.
Nick Clean.
That could be that could be a pen name too.
Yeah.
I think Dennis Hopeless does a pen name. Hopeless isn't his last name, sadly enough.
Hopeless? Is that guy just hopeless?
Yeah. Dennis Hopeless. And Frank Quietly, whose real name is like Vincent something.
I like that guy's art a lot.
You said you don't, or you
No, I do like his art a lot.
Frank Quietly's art is weird to me. I love it, but I also think it's weird looking. Like, everybody looks like they're about to like burst.
Yeah, like, everyone's got like way too many wrinkles sometimes, and like Damien looks like an old man sometimes.
Yeah, one of the guys I wrote comics with, he apparently met them when they were he met Grant Morrison and Frank Quietly when they were doing X-Men back in the day. Yeah, and I think that's really, I don't know if you met AJ. I feel like you haven't.
Was he at your birthday?
No,
I've only met your friends from either your birthday or D&D.
Okay. So no, you haven't met AJ. We work on a book together, and he was telling me about when he was like 13. He was like, no, even younger than that, I think. And he met Frank Quietly, and right when they had just gotten the X-Men job. So he's like talking to Grant Morrison, full Grant Morrison. Like, because he was a kid. Like, Grant Morrison had to be like full Grant Morrison at that point. Like, he didn't have any reason not to be. And so, and I just think that's really cool. Like, I just think it's really cool. The idea that you met them at a Holiday Inn.
At the most potent Grant Morrison.
Yeah, he was just asking the question, would you want to see the X-Men book? He's like, I don't know. Like,
what if he said like one thing is like, I'll do that then.
Yeah, exactly.
Wolverine, he's gonna lose his head.
Exactly. Want to see Wolverine lose his head?
We'll pull out his skeleton again.
Yeah.
But this time it's made of vibranium.
What are we gonna do?
Oh, okay, the final Sentry book, or the final book for Marvel Fresh Start. It's the Sentry, a character I absolutely hate.
You hate the Sentry?
I hate the Sentry so much. He's such a dumb character. To me, anyway. If you love the Sentry, that's fine. But I just think the Void and the Sentry thing is so dumb. Like, I read Sentry mostly through, like, Bendis' New Avengers run. Yeah. And I was like, can they just kick this guy off the team somehow?
It's weird. That's so funny. So they announced this book, and I don't know if I'm ashamed of this or not. I'm not, really, but at the same time, it was stupid. So I was watching a bunch of videos, right? And Comic Drake was doing a video on why people hate Riri Williams versus why they hate Miles, which I don't get any of the hate for Riri. Like, she's a perfectly fine character. Is she I can see it not being your favorite, but, like, the level of hate, and then, like, all the stuff that people hate her for is, like, stuff within the story that has obvious answers. Like, she's taking a spot from somebody, and it's just like, you mean the person that died in the story and gave her the rights to his shit? Like,
well, went to a coma.
Yeah, he went to a coma, and he sent this stuff to this girl, and he was like, hey, take care of this stuff. So she did that.
Yeah.
Like, what are you mad about? And so I was like really pissed off because they were just like, it's just diversity for the sake of diversity. I was reading the comments of a YouTube video. Never do that. And I was just really irritated. And he announced the Century book. And my response was, oh, another white hero? What's with all this whiteness for the sake of whiteness? Because no one gives a shit about this. It's just like, you can not like a character and it doesn't have to be about some agenda. They have people who like the Century and they made a book about him.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I hate the Century because I just think he's like a weird Superman analog for like Marvel, and it just doesn't blend well with Marvel. Like, it's fine if he's in another universe, if he's like an ultimate character, but for like the 616, Century makes like zero sense to me. And just like Miles makes like very little sense in the context of 616.
Yeah.
It's like he's kind of just like everything special about him is like taken away when he leaves Ultimate Universe. Like, he's the one and only Spider-Man in that world. Like, there's no clones. Well, there's the Peter thing, but that got resolved.
Did it?
Yeah. Well, he's no longer in the Ultimate Universe.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah.
But the whole thing about that made Miles special was he was the new Spider-Man and he had his own legacy and identity. Sentry, I look at him and I'm like, it's just a crazy hobo in a Superman costume. And he also has an evil identity that's like the Voldemort of it all.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, I don't know enough about the Century other than that, like, he has the power of 1,000 exploding suns or something.
Yeah.
And that the Void, he turns into the Void sometimes randomly whenever it's story convenient to, like, ruin whatever situation.
Yeah. Well, it's supposed to be
just happen to be in him.
It's like the equal amount of evil to the good that he does, but it's also like convenient to whenever the writer wants like the Void to come up. It's like, I can't be in this fight anymore because I'm the Void now.
Yeah.
So I have to find a space, and then thankfully Thor in like Siege murdered the Sentry.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of worried of like, are they gonna?
Also,
fight?
yeah, they do just keep bringing him back though, right?
Yeah, the Sentry was like a Marvel Knights thing, and then they brought him into 616, and then like they retconned that he was always there.
Yeah.
And they made everyone forget about him. No. I'm not having that.
It's not your jail. Yeah, no, like, he's just one of those characters, like, I feel like that book's gonna get canceled.
Yeah.
I'd be surprised if it ran long. Because there's certain books that, like, whether they're good, and I'm not even saying it's gonna be bad. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's gonna be a bad book at all. But, like, we was talking about, like, I was a huge fan, and I think I talked about this, and this is where I, like, got into Valeria Schetti. He did, Journey into Mystery, the Sith run of Journey into Mystery. And that lasted 2 arcs, I want to say, before it got canceled. I loved it. I was super into it. Everything I like. Sith was going around cutting off heads, beating the shit out of people. It was awesome. And they canceled it because people didn't care about that character beforehand. You know what I mean? And probably because she also hadn't been in anybody else's book where she was like important at that time. So everybody was like clamoring for like a side book with her in it. Like, she was in the movie. And they probably hoped that people would have been like, oh shit, like that girl's cool. Oh, like what's her books about? But like, that didn't happen, you know? So I feel like the same thing with Century. It's kind of like, it's not enough. It's one of those like niche characters, and it's going to have like, it's going to go like a few arcs and then it's going to get canceled because that's just,
it's just the nature of the beast.
Yeah, that's how people buy books. They kind of buy books based on their favorite characters and also what's everybody up in arms about this week. Like, do people like this book? Are people saying this book is good? Let me get that. You know, let me check this out.
Yeah, that's why Batman's one of the highest selling every month. And Spider-Man too.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you got your like mainstays because those books are people's favorite characters, and when stuff happens in them, everybody's like, "Oh my god, Batman's getting married? Well, I gotta read that." You know, Spider-Man. This is, you know, Dan Slott's last Spider-Man. You gotta read that. You know, it's kind of like whatever. So I don't know. I doubt that book's gonna stay around for a long time. It could be good. I don't know. Is Jeff Lemire doing it? Jeff
Lemire. He wrote Old Man Logan. Also a bunch of other stuff that he just escapes my mind right now.
The series of Old Man Logan. Jeff Lemire to me has always been. He also did Avengers vs. X-Men with Avengers versus X-Men versus New Mutants, or New Inhumans versus X-Men. Yeah, which is like not very good. And I always prefer Jeff Lemire's like indie stuff way more.
Oh yeah, because he did Sweet Tooth, right?
He had Sweet Tooth, and then he was doing this book with Dustin Nguyen called Descender, which is cool.
Oh yeah, why is everyone's like indie stuff so much better than a lot of their?
Well, most people, it makes, to me, I feel like most people, it kind of makes sense because you get more freedom. You don't have to like, no one's attached to anything. No one's like, this is my favorite character. They have to do this or they have to do that. And they can't be a Nazi or whatever. So you can do what you want to do. And also you get to like, you learned all this stuff from working on those other books and stuff. So it's like, because you get to do what you want to do, it's going to be better. And you've been doing this for such a long time. Like, obviously you don't know what you're doing. With most people, I like they like mainstream stuff and the indie stuff like more, but I still like the mainstream stuff. Like Jason Aaron, I like his stuff. Just about every book he writes, I'll be like, oh, I'll check it out. I'm like, this is really cool. And then like you read something like Scout or Southern Bastards, and he's just like, this is really cool, you know. Whereas like Jeff Lemire, like he writes a book and it's not his own stuff. I'm like, I don't really care. Like I just don't. I'm not about to get up for this. It's just like every time I try, I'm just like, why is this not? It's like he does it. It feels like he's just like, I guess. Like. But that's probably not true. I mean, but I just feel like he's way more interested in his own stuff, which a lot of people are like that. Some people won't even do, like, even if they like superheroes, they won't do them because they're like, I don't care enough about this. Like, I know I'm not going to care because it's not Matt. I don't want to work on it.
But I like Jeff Lemire's Old Man Logan. It was pretty good. I think he wrote it up until, like, issue 25 or something. Right. Maybe even past that.
So who's writing it now? Or did it end at 25?
I have no idea if it even ended. That's how long it's been since I picked up Old Man Logan.
Speaking of X-Men, and clothes, did you see the screenshot of the new...
Yeah. So, speaking of X-Men, because I have a shirt that's X-Men, there's been a bunch of leaked set photos of Dark Phoenix.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I have some other Fox-related news that you might find really sad, but...
What?
We'll talk about this first.
Oh, okay. Is it about my petition?
No, it's not. It has nothing to do with your petition.
So, everybody, I put a petition out there. It's not change.org petition because I just chose the first one that popped up on Google. I don't remember which one it was, but it's to make sure that they release a horror cut of New Mutants when that comes out next year on DVD. I just want that.
On Blu-ray, you mean?
Yeah, it was on Blu-ray. Just do that. It's not a big deal. But if you know, I just want them to know that we will watch that too.
I think you have 3 signatures.
I think 2, 3. Yeah,
yeah.
I'm one of them.
As soon as you said sign this thing, I was like, oh, okay. There's too many steps to sign it though.
I know, right? I should probably make a change.org one. It's probably easier. Yeah. I'll redo it on change.org, and then we'll just share it. We'll share it on my Tinder. I mean, not Tinder. That too. I'll put it on my Tinder. I use that all the time. Sort of. And, yeah, I just put that on my Tinder and my Twitter, too, and Instagram.
Just that's your whole bio, sign my petition.
Yeah.
And people be like, what? Anyway, X-Men, Dark Phoenix.
Dark Phoenix costumes look pretty cool. Speaking of Frank Quitely and Grant Morrison run, they look like the Frank Quitely, Grant Morrison one. I do wonder if they're going to be the outfits they wear the entire time, though.
Yeah, or if it's just like their space suits.
Yeah.
Because they are going to space in this one.
Space. And
it's a 2-parter now. So it's Dark Phoenix Part 1.
Really?
Yes. There might not be a Part 2 if this does badly. If this is done poorly and like the Disney Fox thing goes through, I think they're just gonna reboot everything.
I'm so curious what they're gonna do. Cause so there's 3, I feel like the 3 superhero movies coming out this year that are like, everyone's just like, why? And they usually are at least 1 or 2 of those movies. And I feel like 1 is always like, wait a minute, that wasn't bad. You know?
It wasn't that bad.
I think, like, last year, I think it was Wonder Woman. People kind of was like, when we went to Wonder Woman, it was like, oh, it's going to be bad, it's going to be good. And we were really pleasantly surprised. And it was like, wow, this is really cool. What was another one? I feel like there was another one. There was one that was a little bit more pan that was like way better than people thought it was going to be.
Not Dark Phoenix, Apocalypse from like 2 years ago?
No, that was bad.
Yeah, it was.
No, but yeah. Wonder Woman going into Wonder Woman, the first, I think up until like the last week or month before Wonder Woman, people were like, the studio said it wasn't good, and it's this rumor and that rumor and reshoots and blah blah blah.
And then we're cutting off the No Man's Land scene.
Yeah, like it was
no
all
reason.
There were all these things that they were like, things were going to happen, and the movie was going to be good, and everyone's like, I hope it's good, and it turned out to be good. And I think this year, as much as I would love it to be an X-Men movie, and this year I like 3 lowest rungs. I like Dark Phoenix, Aquaman, and Venom, right?
And they're all coming out around the same time.
Yeah. And I'm pretty certain Aquaman's gonna be the surprise. Honestly, I think it's already done.
Yeah.
We haven't heard anything bad about it. Not too much, anyways.
Yeah. I do have some bad news for you, though.
What?
One of the movies we thought was going to be really good. It had a test screening this week, and it turns out it's really bad.
What movie is that?
Deadpool 2.
What?
Yeah, apparently the early screenings, a lot of people complain like there's no plot for nearly half the movie. The jokes are like not even as good as the first one, and the best part is the end credits.
Really?
Yeah.
We'll see though.
Yeah.
Because I remember early test screenings of other movies. They were like, "This is gonna be bad," and it wasn't.
It's usually so weird because it's like Fantastic Four, like Fan Four Stick. Great early screening reviews.
Really, was it? Yeah,
it was like 100% like the Twitter response is positive, and then like the week after that is when it comes out and everyone's like, "Boo, boo you, Josh Trank."
Remember, Justice League was like everybody's like, "Oh, Justice League's pretty good. It was pretty good." Then I went to see it and I was like, "You guys lied to me. It was pretty okay." Is what it was. It was passable. It was better than their last. Like, it was better than. Oh man,
but. I just felt so weird, like, the person who was describing this was like, yeah, for nearly half the movie, there's no plot. And I'm like, oh, we're just, like, sidetracking and going to different tangents and, like, weird jokes. Or is it, like,
that might be a part of it, though. Like, that's the thing about it is just, like, and I'm real skeptical of people's opinions now. Everybody, because of the internet, I feel like a lot of people have gotten a status of being, like, reviewers and, like, critics or whatever. And, like
us.
Yeah, right? Like, but we don't know what the fuck we talking about. We can go to school for this. Like, it's people who went to school for this, who went to school for film criticism.
Yeah, they studied film. And now just random guys off the street are like, I didn't like.
Yeah, and if you get enough followers on YouTube, you know, you get to be a fucking go to press junkets and shit, and people care about your opinions and whatever. That doesn't mean it's gonna be good. Like, that doesn't mean anything.
Also, I heard Tomb Raider's pretty good from the early screenings. Yeah.
I would be surprised. I would be, if Tomb Raider is good, like, even if it's, like, early in the beginning of the year good,
I feel bad because we had a chance to go to the early screening, like, from last Thursday?
Really?
No, Wednesday. But we kind of had something coming up, and I was like, oh, we can't go.
I know, right? That would have given you some scoopage. You need that.
Yeah. It's like, I would upload a video, like, the day after, be like, why Tomb Raiders?
I know, right? Like, you used to be one of those people finally where you're like, yeah, like, the next day, like, who's got a Tomb Raider review? This guy. Like,
and then Warner Brothers reaches out and is like, you couldn't release a review until, like, the day before. Sorry. We're demonetizing this. Also, you're banned from YouTube. I don't know.
No. I mean, you could do it, but you could have it ready, like, for the day before.
Like, instead the day before, everyone's like, what?
Exactly. So you could be like IGN or some shit, and you're like, yeah, fuck them.
Yeah. And I'd give the movie a 8 out of 10. Like every IGN review.
That's not true. I've seen bad IGN reviews.
Yeah, some are 7.9.
To be fair, though, sometimes they'll give it, like, a reasonable score, but, like, the actual words are, like, way worse. You're just like, huh? I feel like that's not what you said.
This is a faithful adaptation of the book. Therefore, 2 out of 10.
Yeah. I mean, I like the IGN people. I feel like people give them way too much shit, but, like, that's just me.
Yeah. Not as much shit as, like, Watch Mojo, though.
Oh, yeah, Watch Mojo. Yeah. They get shit wrong all the fucking time. I watch Mojo videos. When that's something I know about, and I watch a Watch Mojo video, there's at least one fact they get completely wrong. And I feel like, where the fuck did you get that from?
It was like Steve the intern who's like, I think I heard this one time.
Yeah, with all the confidence in the world. You're like, what? Because, I mean, they have to sound confident, but still, like, it makes it worse that they, like, do. Like, I was watching Secret Origin of Miles Morales or whatever, and just like, Miles was a thief. I was like, thief? Ooh, somebody didn't read the book. Like, his uncle was a thief. He was not a thief.
Yes.
I was like, racism much? I think so. Was it an accident? Probably. Is it still racism? Now it is.
Well, it depends. Did they read the novelization? Because maybe in that he's a thief.
No, he's probably not a thief.
Okay, I don't know.
I would bet as much not, because, like, they people in Marvel go, no, that's not how it works.
Or just because Bendis left, they'd be like, I don't care what happens to Miles Morales.
I feel like they're gonna do something with Miles Morales. I think they're gonna wait until they can get somebody who can, like, take care of it, and, like, they can get a writer to, like, write it. And
Ta-Nehisi Coates. No. That's so also racist. Just be like, he's a token black writer now. Give him War Machine too.
That's how David Walker was for a minute. I remember when I first started talking to people, a few people were saying, it was just like, they just got David Walker writing everything. It was just like, yeah, he's like the only black person. They just get him because he's the only black person they know. Like,
Actually, I think DC tried to reach out to someone to write the new Cyborg series, and like he tweeted out like, did DC just contact me because I'm black? And it's like, maybe.
I think David Walker wrote the Cyborgs. He ended up writing that one. I know he wrote Luke Cage and Iron. He wrote Heroes for Hire recent, the newest one
with like the tracksuit Iron Fist.
Yeah, which I like. I thought it's kind of cool.
It's a pretty cool tracksuit.
But yeah, like he wrote that book, and yeah, he's one of those people that people get like, oh, he's a black dude. Like they need a black dude to like write stuff. So like,
we can't get Tim Seeley to write Blade. Apparently,
that was the whole fucking thing. I still think that's one most interesting thing that happens, because it was just like she got that one girl got like really really mad about it. She's like, you guys gotta wait until books come out. You can't be mad at stuff it hasn't started. You know what I mean?
That's
like,
why you can't honestly be mad at like any of the Fresh Start books. They don't come out till May, so
yeah, like I don't know. I might be like super really into. Like I might pick up that Ant-Man and the Wasp and be like, this is it for me right now. Like I'm all about this. Also, I might be like, Coach, you should never ever write Captain America, and like Captain America's just like way too different or something. Yeah. I was just like, what?
Well, he said a few times, he's like, I want to write Cap the way Cap would be written, or like he doesn't want to put his own thoughts in like Cap's head. He wants to have Cap's thoughts the way the character is. Just keep him that way. Keep
him that way, and then just have him interact in the world that Ta-Nehisi has created. Yeah. And like, yeah, no, that's cool. I want to see that. I'm curious what. I'm also really curious what is like, because like, as much as I don't like the regal tone of Black Panther, it fits. It makes a lot of sense. Like, it's not like it's not right. And it's not something I hate. It's something I totally understand. It's just not my favorite thing in the world, because it's hard to... People don't normally talk like that. So
but
it's
if you're a king...
Yeah, like, it makes sense as a king, but because people don't normally talk like that, I have to think too much about what they're saying. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta, like...
Kind of like the Thor thing.
Like, it feels like I'm translating. Oh, okay, this is what he means. Oh, this is, like, it becomes a bit of, like... It becomes a little bit too much work there, you know? So, I'm not a big fan of it. But, like, to see what he does with Captain America, see if he does something a little bit more straight level, a little bit more rateable, it'll be really interesting.
Was that a cameo from Grant Morrison?
No. It was who else could it be? No, I was gonna say Alan Moore, but Alan Moore probably sounds way more like an asshole. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry.
Yeah, but I think that's gonna be it for this time.
All right.
Yeah. You guys skedaddle and get to work.
I do. Just skedaddle and get to work.
All right. But from all of us at Nerd Boys Comic Blog, we'll see you guys next time.
Also, like and subscribe.
Yeah, like us, please. Also, I haven't uploaded a video in like months, so that would help.
Yeah, share the videos, people. Don't be Zach Morris.
Zach Morris is trash. Anyway, those are good final words.
Yeah.
Peace.